Right, so I've been getting the question all the time, what is cozy minimalism? And I want to give you the definition. This is my definition. This isn't an actual definition from a book or anything fancy. This is my definition and what it's become to me in my life. We started cozy minimalism 2 months ago. The reason we started it was because I had been sick for a month and our house fell apart. I was so sick, I was hospitalized for fluids. This pregnancy, I was diagnosed with HG, and people had to come in and clean my house for me, and people had to come in and take care of my kids for me. That was so hard for me because I like things a specific way, but my way isn't definitely like organized. In this, my husband would come home every night and clean the house, and it would take him forever, and then it would be a giant disaster the next day. And I realized I didn't want this anymore. We had too much stuff. My goal was I wanted, if someone came to my house and offered to do my dishes, I could be like, yeah, go ahead. And they'd have questions about 2 or 3 things, because for the most part, they could open cabinets and figure out what goes where. They couldn't do that before. They would come and it was like a jumble, and so I would put off having people help me with dishes or put off having people help me with things because I was afraid that people would be like, oh, she has nothing together in her life, which I didn't. So I decided, I heard this term as I started researching minimalism. I am not a minimalist by any means. I am not. I am a cozy minimalist, and what cozy minimalist looks like to me when I think of cozy minimalism is that I have the right amount of stuff for me. I have the stuff that I want in my life that I love. And there are things I got rid of that I absolutely loved but didn't have a place in my home. My main goal was I wanted everything to have a place, that when I picked something up off the floor, I knew exactly where it went. If I didn't know where it went, it didn't belong in my home, or I had to figure something out so I knew where it goes. I still have spots in my home that need to be cleaned and need to be minimalized and decluttered. That's life. I realize that more things come in and more things go out, and that's just the flow of things. But the thing that really motivated me to do this was I didn't want to spend my life cleaning. I felt like as a mom, that's all I did. I cleaned, I nagged all day long. I mean, I have a 3 and a 1-year-old at home, and I'm pregnant, and I felt like that's all I did. I was a stay-at-home mom that cleans, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So since implementing cozy minimalism in my life, cleaning has changed dramatically. I have days that I clean certain things. My house at the end of every single night is completely clean. I wake up to a clean house. There's a few things out of place here and there, but that's it. I wake up to a clean house. I have a few chores that day. I can sit and read with my kids. I can relax. I can be the mom I want to be. So that's what cozy minimalism looks like to me. It's not even about the amount of stuff. I wasn't going for, I want 55 things in my closet, or I only want this many toys. It was, I started observing and going, oh, I never wear these things. Because I'm doing laundry consistent now, because my house is clean, I really like these 5 outfits or whatever. Or toys. I watch my kids and they wouldn't play with certain things, so I slowly started moving these. I mean, this was even after I did a huge declutter. I'd sit there and I'd watch my kids and be like, they haven't played with this for a week. I'm gonna stick it in the closet. I wonder if they'll notice. No, they didn't. And they were having more fun with less. Way more fun with less. So I've talked before about how I have anxiety. I have anxiety and depression. I am on medication for it. It is my struggle in life. I didn't even know what this was called until I think it was about 5 years ago that my husband said, this sounds like you have anxiety. And I was like, what is that? And I have pretty severe anxiety. I get overwhelmed, and one of my triggers is the house being messy. That's why I am so focused on trying to learn how to clean to take care of my house, because I don't want my house being constantly messy, because it's my trigger. So I have anxiety. My son just got diagnosed with anxiety. He's 3, almost 4. He just got diagnosed with anxiety. I thought for sure he had some type of autism, Asperger's, something going on, because he just is out of control. And in all my experience, I mean, I have 10 years total of working with children. I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education. I just felt so lost with him because I didn't know where to start. I felt so out of control, and our life was out of control, especially when I just got sick this last time. I felt like a mess, and I wanted to pull our lives together for both of us. Well, since I have got rid of, I want to say 75, maybe more actually, % of our toys. My son's room is very minimal. Like there's barely like what he needs in it. My son knows where things go. Ever since then, his behavior has changed dramatically. I'm not going to say he's perfect because he's still my kid, but his behavior has changed. And my anxiety has gone down. I do still have fits of anxiety and I still struggle. Yo, I'm pregnant and I don't sleep enough. But my son's behavior went down. My behavior went down. Porter can now unload the dishwasher pretty much by himself now. He knows how to load the washer. He knows how to clean up things because he knows where everything belongs in our house. His behavior has decreased a ton. So for me, cozy minimalism has not been about stuff and the stuff I have in my house. Cozy minimalism has been about the way it's changed our family. So when I start to feel like I'm getting chaotic again, I kind of look around and go, well, what's out of place? What do I need to move? Because I do believe, which I've talked about before, that's why I move furniture a lot. That's why, because I believe my house plays an important role in how I feel. And so if things are out of control, it's usually what's around you that's out of control. Or if you're out of control, if you go ahead and take the things that are around you and put them in control, then you're putting yourself into control. That's why I clean. That's why I rearrange, because I am now taking myself that's out of control and making control around me so I feel a little bit more calm. So there's something to be said about organization, decluttering, that is life-changing. And I've done it. I've decluttered before. I've done this before, but this time has been a whole new game changer because I came in with different feelings and different vibes. So I just wanted to share how it's affected our lives and kind of my definition of cozy minimalism and what it means in my life. I've had a few of you message me and say that you started to declutter, and that is amazing. Good job. I will never force it upon anyone else. I will never tell anyone how many coffee cups they should have, how many things in their closet. The only thing I will say is you find your balance. You find what makes you happy, because as soon as you do, there is something to be said about it. So if you struggle with anxiety, depression, OCD, other tendencies, especially emotional, take a look around you and figure out how you can kind of take your home and put it in a better place. Just start basic. Start with something you see every day. I started with my closet. That was something I see every day, and that just pushed me to keep going to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And yes, it was hard, and yes, it took a long time, and yes, I just hit my elbow. But I don't regret it at all, at all. It was worth all that work for a couple weeks and maybe a years for you. It doesn't matter how long, it just matters that you're on the journey. So good luck on your own journey and where you can find your happiness.